Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Whoa, hey yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's after show for Total Divas. We're talking episode 17. I think it's 17 already.
Lord.
Getting up there. Mo money, mo purses.
Words to live by.
I am Kaori Takee, and I've got lovely people with me as usual. I've got Dave.
Hey,
Dave Chappelle.
My name's Dave. I don't know why Dave would sound like that.
You look like a Dave until I realized you look more like a Dale.
Oh yeah, I'll go by Dale. That's a good idea.
Dale Rutledge, what do you think of that?
I love it. Keeping it.
I like it too.
Forget Dave.
What about her? What name should we give her?
What's my name today, guys?
Ryan
Bella
Shecrets.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, I could be a Bella Bomb. I like that.
That's pretty good.
I like that, yeah.
I get Dave, she gets Bella Bomb. This is rigged.
AKA Christy Olson.
Yay, hello.
And on the phone, because she's suffering through LA traffic right now.
Post-Oscars traffic.
Yes, our girl Gabby. What's up?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be with you even if it's via voice.
Hey, girl.
That's all we need. We need is your voice, and then everything else is secondary.
Right.
So along the way, you guys can continue to tweet us ABTV Divas, because if we say Total Divas, it might be a little long. So
Be here all day.
hashtag.
Yeah, we want to give you enough characters.
Exactly. Hashtag ABTV Divas all along the way, all week long, right now. And so, you guys, overall thoughts of this episode?
Not quite as juicy as last week, I gotta say.
That's what I was telling Dave. You know? I was saying that the previous episode was so intense, and then this one felt a little more of a filler.
Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to squeak out some interesting things from, you know, Eva Marie's storyline, and it just wasn't really there. I mean, it was cool they were in Vegas. That hotel room was bomb.
Same hotel room we see on every single reality show. Palms Hotel. Please start renting out for free a different room to reality shows. Okay, we've seen the spinning bed, we've seen the pool outside, this has been on Mob Wives, this has been on Girls Next Door. Come on.
I like how they pointed out too, like, we're going to the Palms Hotel.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get a free room.
That's right.
You hear me, Palms? Dave is coming to stay.
ABTV will be down to stay there.
right.
Oh yeah, yeah, don't stop before us.
I mean, don't listen over there. Just kidding. Gabby, what did you think overall?
I actually liked the episode. I liked how they showed us, you know, a little more of Natty and TJ's relationship. It seemed to me that they're kind of mending things a little bit. He's becoming more understanding and going out of his way for her. So I was impressed with him for this one.
It's so interesting because I watched the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view.
Of course.
Before I watched Total Divas, and at the pay-per-view, Natty and Tyson Kidd, as he's called on there, they were making out a couple of times on the ramp, and I was like, y'all are faking it. This is not, you know. And then I watched Total Divas, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're actually doing okay.
Right?
Yeah, something's really happening.
Life.
I think it was Natty's outfit that did
That
it
outfit
yesterday.
was dope.
Yeah, I tried to look for some pictures to show all you guys, but it's not there yet. So
actually, we might as well show it up. I was gonna save it for our news and gossip, but not yet. Actually, I'll show just in a little bit.
All right, we're gonna wait on that one.
We'll wait on that one.
Our very exclusive pick from somebody that we know very well.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not sure if I remember what she looks like, but. I'm totally kidding. All right, guys. So let's first talk about the Eva Memory Story. I think the highlight of the story for me was the giant burgers that they had to eat.
I mean, they're trying to get some like good stuff in before he kicks the bucket, and they're feeding him this giant burger. That is not
the whole pasture's worth of beef right there.
Yeah,
it really was.
And they each got their own or something.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, okay, it's not healthy, but. What it comes down to is that was just part of a bucket list created by Eva Marie because she wants her father to live the life that I guess she would want.
Yeah, I don't know if
really
you know what a
weird.
bucket list is, Eva Marie, but it's not your list for somebody else.
Yeah.
That was the best part when the mother had to lecture on it.
Yeah. I mean, and I completely agree with the dad. He was like, what the hell are you talking about? You're acting like I have one foot down in the grave or whatnot. And would you guys have gone skydiving? I would have, but...
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was so disappointed when they decided not to do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't
and a
change
little
your
bit
mind
surprised. Yeah.
I'm with the dad on this one. I would have not gone because that's the one thing I never want to do.
Really?
Oh.
You seem so adventurous, though.
I am adventurous, but that scares me because I feel like it's a death wish.
Oh, maybe I have a death wish.
I think it's actually probably a lot safer than a lot of things you could do.
Like driving a car.
Yeah, driving a car can be real bad.
Driving in this traffic, hello.
On the phone, Gabby. No, I don't know.
I was really interested, though, that Jonathan couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, he said
was
he
too
was
big?
too
Too
heavy.
fat. I suppose he's too big, too bulky. Maybe is a better
Yeah.
word. He said too fat, but that's not true.
Obviously not.
I don't know if I buy that. He seems kind of slim, but
Well, that's
I guess.
what I thought. Yeah.
I guess they have to have someone strapped
Maybe
behind
him
them.
plus the other guy. It wasn't. I don't know.
Maybe that's what's too much.
Yeah,
The
'cause
combined weight.
This wasn't traditional skydiving. It looked like it was flying lower and in a. I mean, didn't they mention something about not being? It was only 11 seconds worth of
Yeah,
falling,
yeah.
so
They
I think
said-
it wasn't going as high as a normal.
The way they said it was, okay, we're only this high. We have 11 seconds, but it's just enough time to open that parachute. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, about that. That sounds a little weird.
Yeah, that doesn't make anyone feel better that it's just enough time to open the parachute.
So I guess it's been a little over 20 years since Eva Marie and her family got to be able to get all together.
Crazy.
I'm pretty shocked by that. You would think that they would have reunited sooner.
Have we met that other brother? So we always see
That's
the
what
two
I was
Stooges,
thinking.
right?
Yeah.
But have we met the younger one
I
before?
think that was the first time we've seen him. I don't even remember him at Eva's wedding.
I don't
although I'm
remember
sure
him
he
at
was
all.
There.
He's kind of hot, just saying.
Yeah, a little better than the other two.
Compared to the other two.
Nick was his name, I believe.
I don't remember. He didn't really talk that much.
No,
he was
no.
just kind of there.
Maybe before he had some sort of career thing or something why he couldn't be on Total Divas. Maybe he just wasn't on camera before.
Yeah.
Like at her wedding, but it was nice to see them all together. I do have to say, a little bit, not boring maybe isn't the right word, but the Nelsons are just a lot more interesting when they're like yelling and screaming at each other. Right?
It's true.
I'm glad they're all cool. I'm glad they've worked everything out with Jonathan and Eva, but it just didn't quite hold my attention.
It just felt like it was a stretch of a storyline to make this like a focus for Total Divas episode. It just didn't feel organic.
Yeah,
you know?
and we hadn't seen Eva Marie for a couple of episodes now, and so it was like, oh, we're gonna get something good, and then this was what we got, and it was like, oh, I guess.
Yeah. And then they went partying, and you're like, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden, we went to a party, like the Nelsons are bringing it down next scene. And it was
Yeah,
just
it's like, okay.
a letdown.
Did anyone find it weird that the dad was talking about the mom putting him on a healthy diet, yet he was out drinking with the family?
And ate like a 16-pound burger.
Yeah, he had a beer in his hand
Yeah,
the whole time you were
exactly
there.
that too. When we know red meat isn't really the healthiest.
Well, I guess that makes sense though, because when you're on vacation, you don't really want to live to strict rules. I mean, at least I don't.
I presumed it was the vacation, and he did say almost everything he should be doing.
Yeah.
He was very careful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get that. But yeah, the storyline wasn't as great. Eva's done better.
And it didn't feel like Jonathan was really on this episode. I mean, he was there the whole time, but he barely spoke outside of saying he couldn't get on the plane.
Right.
I don't really have much in my head that he did at the party. He wasn't like getting rowdy or doing, I don't know. It was kind of...
Well, I know that they're trying to find something for Eva to do because she's really on her downtime after her surgery in all this. But yeah, I mean, couldn't she go do something with the girls?
But she's still doing something very, active, crazy, kind of doing the go-kart racing or whatever. That's dangerous
Yeah.
too. So she's not exactly resting.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So let's talk about Natalya a little bit because she's been the past couple episodes is a little rough, but it's also when rough times are coming, you see the good in people, and that means TJ really seems to have proven himself to her and shed some light that he is there when she needs him. So what do you guys think that he helps out with Natalya's mom's house.
He was so sweet, and it kind of left me going like, what is the problem here, Natty? You rely on him. He's there for you. He's treats your family so well. I'm like, what is the issue?
It was her first reaction was to call him, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is still there. And like we've said before, they've been together so long. This is just one of those lulls in their relationship, I suppose. But when she needed him 2 times in a row now, at least, you know, episode-wise, he came running.
He was there quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to... You know, he's like, I'm going to go ahead and buy the new refrigerator, buy the new stove, whatever it was. That was really sweet. And I don't know. I don't know why I got emotional about this, but this whole part, when they have the big reveal at the end and the mom starts crying and Natty starts crying, and I just got emotional. But
so that means you cried?
Yeah, I didn't cry, but it was just like, oh, you guys. It's so great. Plus, I love a remodel. But it was just really nice for him to go the extra step. And we haven't really seen a lot of this from TJ this whole show, to be honest with you. I haven't felt much from his side very often where he goes above and beyond. And this was the first time that it felt like maybe he's missing Natty, and this is his way, in his weird way, of showing her, like, your life is important to me.
Showing devotion.
I mean, from what I gather from watching Total Divas is he's very comfortable with her, and he treats her like almost like a sister, best friend,
like a
kind
bro,
of thing.
almost. Really.
Yes. So obviously he cares for her and loves her, and if she's going through something, he's definitely hands down going to be there for her. But he's lacking that passion that she wants or she's expecting from him, and that's where the problem comes from. And maybe if she just accepts it for what he is, you know, it would work.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that Trinity kind of addresses with her on the show is like, it sounds like you're putting your baggage on him and you're expecting these things to happen that he didn't even have anything to do with. You're just like wary of the situation.
She's a smart girl, and Natty should listen to her. Trinity's relationship is so non-drama that she couldn't even be a big part of the storyline this season.
I love
on Total Divas. She's obviously doing something right. And I like, she says just enough. You know, last week we saw Foxy getting kind of pushed by Rosa, remember, in the car about the Bad News Barrett stuff. And Trinity approaches completely differently than Rosa did. And she just says the exact right thing, and it's not too pushy, and it's kind of just what you need to hear, and it makes you feel better. And I was like, oh, Trinity, we love you.
Yeah, she's great.
Kiara Parker, KJR Parker, says, is Ariane still on the show? I feel like Trinity Fatu is getting more screen time than she is.
I think she is, because
she's definitely,
yeah, she was on the show heavily on the previous episodes.
She had that accident with Natty. That was a fun episode. But you're right, though. Trinity is getting a lot of screen time for not being on the show anymore, quote unquote.
Which is great. I'm happy every time I see her.
Me too.
Any moment we can get with her. Gabby, what did you think of Natty and TJ's relationship?
Well, the moment that I really, really enjoyed was, you know, how TJ took all this under his own belt, and then once they did the reveal, the mother was like, I don't deserve you. That's what she said to Natty, and I thought that was just like an invaluable moment.
I know.
To see that kind of relationship. And I'm really heartfelt for her in her situation, because it seems like they're going through a really challenging time. And yeah, when it rains, it definitely pours. And I think that, you know, behind the scenes, Natty is struggling with a lot. And it was nice to see her mother get emotional and make us really relate to that situation.
Yeah. Because the funny thing about Natty, though, is even through all that, she still has those little quirky Natty moments that make you, oh yeah, this is something Natty would go through.
Like make you roll your eyes a little bit. You're like, oh, Natty.
Yeah, oh, Natty.
She's very unique in that way.
The only thing that really bothers me about this scene was the fact that she, you know, the first thing she does when she sees a problem is she calls TJ, but she always says, I don't know what to do. And it sounds like she never has a solution for anything.
That's true.
And I don't know if it felt like she was pushing it on him, but he did step up to the plate and help her out. But that's the one thing that kind of just bothers me about her is I don't know why she's always going to people for help and not knowing what to do in her own situation.
I wonder if that stems from she and TJ being together since they were so young. I think they were like 19 or something, right, when they first got together. So she maybe never really did like the independent woman thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you know, maybe that is just her first instinct. Maybe she really doesn't know how to deal with things alone. You know, it kind of makes sense.
That could be it. I agree with you, Christy.
Yeah.
And with her dad being gone a lot, it sounds, you know, TJ probably became more her family than her family was when you're on the road all the time, and TJ was there for most of the time that she was on the road. So I don't know. I think it's just a knee-jerk reaction.
And
too.
her family treats TJ like family too.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Dad
I mean,
and mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course that's the first person she would go to. I think in the beginning when he first reacted was like, "Why are you calling me?" I didn't really like that, but he changed. Didn't he? Wasn't he like that at the beginning?
He said he was surprised that he called. I mean, that she called him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then hopefully that lower third from estranged husband will change.
Yeah, I hate seeing that.
I don't feel like they're estranged anymore. I think that we're a little behind in the storyline on the Divas show.
Hopefully, because then whatever they're showing on wrestling must be really difficult for them too.
Yeah, right?
Like, make out a lot when you're out there. Like, oh, God.
Let's talk about the Bella twins and their ridiculous storyline.
I like that.
I don't know what to make of this one, but basically Nikki loves the lavish life and loves spending money, loves purses, shoes, expensive designer wear.
That purse was dope,
Can't
though.
blame her.
I mean, that purse was really dope.
It was a really nice purse, but I will say that every time they mentioned the price of that purse, the price changed.
I was about to say, it kept going up.
I was like, what?
Is it $1,500 or y'all just add an extra zero for a storyline? What's going on here?
What it was is it was a 3-piece set. This was a part of something that Louis Vuitton did for their 160th anniversary, and this particular set was co-designed by Karl Lagerfeld.
Oh, you know what's going on.
I did my research.
Oh.
So it was like, it was the
Impressive.
bag, it was the rolling luggage, and then the box bag that we saw her get with the studded, that was so amazing.
So she got all of them.
And then there was another small. Yeah, they didn't show her pulling everything out of the box, but I'm pretty sure that big old box that John Cena brought for her had all three.
That wasn't just a person, that big old thing.
Do you guys think John Cena really bought it, or do you think she bought it and then they made the storyline look like John Cena bought it?
I think he bought it.
No, I think John Cena bought it, and I think that maybe they put a bug in his ear to get that for her. Who knows if she brought it
That's
up,
true.
or they just told him that this is something she wants.
Yeah, that's kind of true, because when she was saying that she loved that he went out of his way and did that for her, I thought to my head, no guy thinks it. Well, barely any guy thinks of that unless it's your birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, or he's sorry.
Yeah, right? It did have me wondering, like, what was the occasion? Yeah, like, what did he do? What was he making up for?
Random $10,000 gift, like, for no reason. And she gets a lot of that, almost every other week, I feel like.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, I guess we could really find out if we wanted to, how much he makes and whatever that equates to. But the way that she reacted to receiving it was pretty sweet. And she instantly looked to me like she was kind of like turned on by the situation. So if I was John Cena and I knew that reaction would come from getting something that probably didn't cost him that much in his head.
It's not rocket science, men.
You know?
Yeah.
It don't have to be a reason.
It's true. And but she doesn't pay rent. She's basically
her
just
cell phone
having a
bill.
great...
That's all she would cop to pay on herself.
She was
That's all
so
she could
proud
think of.
the
I love
cell phone
that.
bill. And it's funny because you have Brie, who is, I wouldn't say cheap, but frugal, I guess you can say.
I don't
Spends
know.
her money in a different way.
Very
They talk
different
about
way.
that $7,000 on the gray water system.
Which is hilarious.
Which is pretty
'cause
cool, though.
The mother calls her out.
While they're getting their nails done, by the way. Like, come on.
And there's like a Louis Vuitton on the wall, too.
Yeah.
It was great.
Like, all of you are absurd. Let's just be clear that the Bellas spend some cash across the board. But yeah, she was like, oh, well, you just spend it differently as they're getting an expensive
She's like,
manicure.
you can't even
pedicure.
compare it because it's recycling and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but Mama Bella did think it was the same. She was like, it's just comparing passions. I think she's
true.
Mama Bella is a little more Nikki Bella than Brie Bella, right?
Which Brie said herself too. She's like,
Right.
oh, I forgot that's where she gets it from.
There is a point there, like you spend your money on what you want. Granted, I could never fathom spending a lot of money on purses.
That's
and
a car.
accessories. Yeah, it really is.
Well, she ain't spending one dime, so
That's true.
That's what, she doesn't ever say that to Brie in the episode. I don't know if we just cut it or whatever, but she's never like, I got it as a gift, back off. She never...
it's not my money, chill.
Yeah, she's just like, eat it, bitch. Basically what she says. And I was like,
No,
oh, okay.
but weren't you guys impressed that she did mention that she got the 3 dresses for 60% off in her interview? I was impressed that she actually admitted that.
A bargain shopper, you gotta appreciate that.
She's right, that does deserve high fives.
I mean, 60% off of what, you know? And if John Cena ever decides to get married to Nikki, I wonder how expensive that engagement ring would be.
Oh my gosh.
I just can't
Well, you know he's gonna lock it up tight with the prenup, so he's gonna feel like he has to get her some big gifts to make up for what she won't be getting in alimony.
He wanted her to sign a prenup when she moved in. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
She did it. Maybe that's where these gifts come from too. It's like everyone knows she's not getting anything. She could be out on the street on her butt with her stuff that he bought for her. Yeah. You know, in a second if that's what he decided needed to happen. It's
true.
You know, so he's giving her something she can pawn if she ever ticks him off too bad and he kicks her out.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I don't think that's what he's thinking.
No.
She's like,
Hope not.
at the end of the day, Nikki's giving up like her dream of having a family for John. So I guess that's his way of kind of making it up for it.
They don't have any kids. He looks like he's doing fine. He's raking in some cash.
That's for
What's
sure.
a $15,000 purse?
Yeah.
Or $25,000? I have no idea how much that thing was.
Ultimately, do you guys think that Brie is, or not Brie, I guess Nikki is spending excessive amounts of money where she shouldn't be, or do you think it's fine and her finances are okay?
If I had it, I'd do it too.
I feel like that's such
I should probably be more ashamed to say that.
subjective. I'm not a purse person.
Right.
My parents actually bought me like a $3,000 Louis Vuitton, and I was carrying it, and I hated it because I felt so Asian. And, you know what I'm talking about, right, guys? Like,
That's funny.
Don't you think, though, to me, I was surprised that Brie was taking this stance because to be a diva is to be photographed all the time, to be in multiple outfits. You can't get re-shot in the same outfit kind of mentality.
Right.
So I was just surprised that Brie was the one giving the speech because she must be buying maybe not as expensive or in excess as much, but she's got to be buying a lot of outfits too.
We don't see her wearing the same
I
thing
buy a
twice
lot of
either.
outfits too as well, but I mean, I don't have to spend a lot of money for my outfits, right? That's the thing.
Well,
but I guess
didn't we see that? We saw a scene in the previous episode where Brie needed an outfit for, I think, an MTV Movie Award thing.
Oh yeah.
And she had to beg Daniel Bryan to let her get a dress, but then she wound up getting something, I think that was like vintage.
Yeah, she got a vintage something,
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't think it was like cheap vintage.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it was
definitely not.
It wasn't
Cheap
cheap,
vintage
but
is
it
just
was
used
definitely
clothing.
20 million times cheaper than that Louis Vuitton.
Well, I personally don't think that it was any of Brie's business to jump into Nikki and tell her how she should be spending her money.
They are constantly
It was weird.
getting into each other's not their business.
And they both go to a financial advisor, and Brie's thinking, I got Nikki now. She's going to be in the hot seat. But then the financial advisor turns to Brie and says, look, you might become pregnant. So what's going to happen with your finances
At any
then?
moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I really
And
do
kids
think
cost a lot of money.
it's true.
It seems like it's on Brie's mind. She's thinking about how she's going to continue working while she does it. I mean, it sounds like these conversations have been had with the higher ups at this point. Like,
Didn't you guys kind of feel like this storyline was kind of unfinished the way it ended, where it turned over to Brie in financial hot seat and then it just ended in the car?
And then they decided to buy a wine bar.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm going to make more money. No, I am. And they drive off.
I think it's just another one of those weird Bella sisters things where
Twin
you're like, oh,
something.
okay, they're over it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that
Cheers.
odd. But
Scott,
It's like an agree to disagree thing, I think.
just specifically to disagree half the time, I think. Scott Murin at Scott Murin is asking us, who are your favorite divas on the show?
on the show, I would say right now, a full-time is Paige. Because Trinity is not full-time, so.
I got to interview Paige on Friday, and it'll be on Wrestling Compadres on Nerdist.com
Nice.
on this upcoming Wednesday.
Very nice.
I liked her on the show anyways, but talking to her in person, she is exactly who she is on the show. Like
That's so cool.
there's
That's
no like
so cool.
pretending going on. So I think she's, not to copy your answer, she's my number one, and number two, very close behind, is Naomi /
Trinity. Yeah.
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 Aw, I love them both too. I'm going to say, even though she made me super jelly this week, I'm going to say Nikki Bella.
Really?
Yeah, I do
know
love
what? I
me
can
some
see
Foxy
that.
too. And
Oh.
Trinity, of course. But yeah, I think she's maybe my fave lately.
Okay.
And she's got that title. She's keeping that title.
Well, she
Yeah.
has a
I
bag
like
to
it.
put it in now. So.
How about you, Gabby?
I'm gonna say that the Bella twins have the most interesting story on Total Divas.
Yeah.
So I like their characters on the show the best. But personally, I think Trinity is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I love her professionally. And I think, yeah, she's the most drama-free girl. So if I could be any of them or want anyone's life, I'd say it'd be a mix between the Bella Twins and Trinity.
Okay. I just feel like I can relate more with Paige because she's so cool. But
I mean, they're all awesome.
just totally kidding.
Nice.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with this episode?
Yes.
Yes, what's up?
Are we going to go into the fact that I met
Yes.
the Diva?
We're doing this in news and gossip, so we can do that.
Okay, spoiler alert, just kidding.
We can do it now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Boom. Okay. So, go ahead. Tell your story.
Okay, so
Who is that gorgeous girl there with
Sunday,
Eva
I
and
worked on
Ariane?
the Oscars with E, and we had two of our E talent on the show, which if you guys saw the countdown, it was Eva Marie and Cameron, aka Ariane.
She looks different.
And I got to meet these girls. It was a lot of fun. I have to say, Eva Marie is super professional. I was thoroughly impressed with her because, you know, we see her on the show and we see her on the live events, and everyone has a lot to say. They have a lot of opinions because, you know, she came in kind of as a model more so than a wrestler. And she has this, like, I don't know, this, like, shadow that follows her for people to actually, you know, find a respect for her. So I'm going to come out and say that I'm now a fan. She showed up to our show 40 minutes earlier than she was even supposed to be on set. And as even a reality star that thinks who they are, you know, usually it's really hard to get someone to be professional and, you know, respectful on set. And she was nothing but that. And, you know...
does that mean Ariane wasn't?
She was ready like an hour and a half to 2 hours before. Ariane, she was really sweet, more of the diva. Like, she is the total diva. But I loved her also. But you guys will see on the show, because I don't know if it's this season or next season, but they were filming for Divas while we were working, so I may make an appearance.
Oh,
Hey.
you look so... You look great, too, by the way. And for those listening and not watching on YouTube, there was basically a picture of our girl Gabby hanging out at the pre-Oscar show with Eva Marie and Cameron, a.k.a. Ariane.
Yes.
Yes.
And you guys, if you want to get them on the show, because I already talked to them about it, and they have our AFTERBUZZ cards, just make sure you tweet at them and let them know you want to see them on the ABTV Total Divas after show.
Yes.
Fans, did you hear that? Start tweeting.
Tweet them out. Tell them we got a nice old couch for them. Or anywhere. Table. Got some Go-Girl juices. Whatever they want.
Exactly.
Handbags for everyone.
Yes.
I love that story because it makes me feel like Eva really values these opportunities that she's getting. You know, like it was a big deal for her to go and be there. She was excited. She was 40 minutes early because she wanted to get there and go do this.
Yeah.
And I love that about her. And when I've interviewed them too, she is just very like professional. That's a perfect word for it.
She seems very real, and that's such a big change from season one, where she was a complete witch.
Robot.
Like, why is she here? Go away, you're hot, but doesn't matter. And now it's like, it's a lot.
Do you think she actually changed, or do you think they were just painting her as that in the first season because they didn't have anybody else to be that character?
I think she came in with guns blazing, like, I really have to make a splash on this show. Remember, she was like very conniving and like manipulating. Yeah, I think what we're seeing now is more the real Eva Marie.
I think they were a little bit fluffing that up because remember when they wanted her, she went to the hair salon and quote unquote she dyed her hair red against them.
I wondered if that was real or not.
I don't think that's real. I think they made her do it. Come on, would you ever have the guts to do that?
And she's the only redhead on the roster. I mean, it seems very specifically done to make her stand out. I don't know.
Yeah,
I always wondered if that was her idea or not.
This up because I had felt the same way. Like she was more of a conniving girl. Like she was trying to make an impression and be the most either liked or hated. But I honestly believe it's a character, and a lot of these reality shows, you have to play to a character, otherwise you get thrown off. And I don't know if Trinity decided to leave the season or what, but it's like a situation like that where, you know, you're too perfect, sometimes people don't want to see that. So the whole point of reality is because it's raunchy sometimes.
What?
And not only that, but the thing with the hair or whatever, you know, they originally wanted to dye it blonde, so... No, I actually think that might have been true to what it was because the blonde isn't, you know, far out of reach for somebody like her, I feel like. I'm not saying it would look good, but I could see, you know, the WWE organization not really thinking too, you know, edgy and wanting to go more like stereotypical with blonde instead of red, and she was kind of like, which, you know, she was on the show. She wasn't really about it because it's kind of like what everyone does, either blonde or brunette.
Yeah, and then she got the red. And by the way, there was 3 moments where she was like, "Oh, red, everything red" in this past episode. Like red cars, like, okay, we get
girl.
it, it's red.
Throw up that catchphrase.
So.
Make those t-shirts.
When I interviewed her, I had red glasses on. She was like, "All red glasses." It's like, all right now. We get it. You got a theme going on. I appreciate it.
That's so funny. Oh, thanks, Gabby, for sharing that. There's some other stuff I wanted to share, news and gossip-wise.
Oh, yeah, I have some too.
AfterBuzz TV News.
This is old news, apparently, because it was written October 8th from WrestleInc.com, but I actually just saw it today. It says that WWE diva Rosa Mendez is reportedly, do you know about this? She's reportedly dating Diego of Los Matadores, formerly known as Primo, obviously.
They were together on the show for a while. I mean, not together as a couple, but the three of them were a thing for a while. So
I don't know if it's true because it was written in October of 2014, and it says it's rumored that Hayes, her ex-boyfriend, I guess, helped Rosa get a spot on Total Divas because he felt bad for being responsible for her relapse with alcohol last year. That's her ex-boyfriend. So she's now dating maybe
good stuff.
Yeah. This is all from October though?
October, but I felt like, man, I should mention this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hadn't heard any of that.
Me
I try to
neither.
keep abreast of what's going on with the ladies and their dating lives.
Yeah, me neither.
So, wow.
So I don't know, but remember, reportedly. And then another.
Well, maybe they kept it quiet, Kaori, because, you know, on the show, she's like, the whole storyline is she's trying to find a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So maybe
Single,
they didn't want to blow that up. Who knows?
Yeah. And maybe at the end she'll find Los Matadores at the end of the rainbow or something. I know, we're just like, no one wants to see them at the end of the rainbow. Nah.
Wait, she's not really with Fandango?
Oh God, that's not working out.
That is not working out. She doesn't know how to dance, first of all.
It just comes off as a little grossy.
Yeah, it's not working
She
out.
looks so awkward every time they're out. She's like, I was like, no. Why are you doing that?
He doesn't even seem into her either. He's like, oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not
He's
a
like
good look.
more into Adam Rose, but you know. Other news I have is so NXT diva Charlotte.
Yes.
Basically, Paige has made some remarks that people say that Charlotte should be the next one coming up, but Paige disagrees, and Paige basically thinks Sasha should be coming up.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
Yes.
she straight up said that Charlotte is not ready.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops.
It's fighting words, right?
We heard something. Did we mention this last week? I don't think so. But Brie and now when I talked to Paige just this week, they both said that they don't necessarily miss being on NXT. Brie was never on NXT, but they don't necessarily think that NXT girls should want to come up to the main roster
I
because
read that too.
they get a lot of time down at NXT and get to be featured a lot more than, you know, the divas are all sharing a very, very small time.
Very true. They have like 20-minute matches at NXT, whereas over here they have maybe 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
I have this quote from Brie. She actually said, "We get so frustrated because it's hard to tell a story in 3 minutes, especially when they want an entrance too." She said, "There's a 3-hour Raw and they can't give more time to the divas."
It is
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, girl.
How much time do you need?
It's
Don't
true.
bite that hand too hard.
It's very true. And so going back to Paige real quick, she basically said about Charlotte, she's good, she's still new, so I feel like at one point people want to see her, but they're kind of rushing it. And she says, I still think Sasha Banks is the one I personally want to come up and who I think is completely ready and the full package.
Sasha Banks, new
Everyone
NXT
keeps
champion.
chatting her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously they agree a little, but
And
we'll
they're
see.
BFF, right? Paige
Yeah, I
and,
mean-
and Sasha.
And then
Yeah.
and Charlotte responded on Twitter saying the reason Paige doesn't want Charlotte coming up on the main roster before Sasha is because Charlotte is a bigger threat.
Yeah, Charlotte favorited a tweet of a fan saying that.
Oh,
That
sorry,
was-
yeah, thanks.
That was as much as she would
was
get
like,
into it, I guess.
why is
I
she
was
talking to her?
surprised,
That's pretty
though,
good.
that
What else
those-
can you say, though?
That those kind of comments were coming from Paige. You
Yeah.
know, we know that Paige isn't catty, and I'm sure she didn't mean this.
She did not.
in any way. You know, like a mean girl kind of a thing.
She was just being
But I was
real.
surprised that she would be that honest.
Or it's a work. And Charlotte really is coming.
That would be so
And
cool.
they'll have a feud. I don't know.
They would have some
so
awesome
smart.
matches. I feel like,
Definitely,
right?
definitely. I think Charlotte is great. I don't know, you know, I don't have an
she's
eye to be
so
like, you're
good.
ready for the main roster. I can't say that per se, but she's definitely one of the most impressive ladies down in NXT. And if not now, very soon. I would.
I
think.
so agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Sasha Banks is great, but I was a
love Sasha
little,
Banks,
I was a
but-
little upset when they switched the hands of the title.
Yeah, but Charlotte had it for like 250 some days.
I
or
know.
something, so.
I know.
She'll be fine.
She will.
She still cartwheeled right out of there, right?
One more newsy tidbit that I have is that Nikki Bella had a interview, and she basically said that kayfabe is dead. Have you heard about that one?
No, but Triple H said that in his Stone Cold interview as well.
Oh, so Nikki Bella copied. No, I'm just kidding. Well, she basically says, in our generation now, kayfabe is dead. And with all the bullying in this world, if we promote this stuff, wrestling storylines as well, as real, what messages are we sending? We have to think about the little kids watching. But she's also talking about people are asking, like, about the storyline and how real it was. So that was kind of her response.
I was wondering how they felt about doing this kind of Mean Girls thing. Because they are sort of the girls that the young ones look up to. They're pretty and they're this and that and they're successful. And they seem to have a lot of young fans. And this whole Mean Girls thing, taking Paige's clothes. And they spray tanned her against her will.
Yeah.
It's a little bit kind of like, oh, uh-oh. You know, let's not push that kind of behavior too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Right?
Well, I think the Bellas are in a weird spot because, you know, ultimately they're heels or bad guys if you don't watch wrestling. And to be that, you have to do mean girl type stuff. You know, you don't have, again, you only have 3 minutes in a whole show. So how do you get that point across without having the time to do it? Well, you spray paint her when she doesn't want to be or whatever. You know, it's like, so I agree with you. You have to think about who is watching and who's looking up to them. But the Bella Twins are weird because a lot of people like them, but then a lot of people don't like them. So they have to do more mean things to become the bad guys that they're supposed to be.
I love them on Total Divas. I don't care for them much in particular as wrestlers.
It's weird. They're bad actors, to be honest with you. Like, they don't really convey emotion very well a lot of times.
See the feud between them from last fall.
Yeah. But Nikki's the better B.
They've gotten a lot better.
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
I can like definitely enjoy it.
But I feel more. I feel like I agree with you. I enjoy them more on Total Divas because maybe they're more relaxed or maybe they're more themselves or whatever. But they get a little stiff on WWE.
Yeah, you can tell like they're pretending to hate each other when they love each other. Things like that. And for all you guys, there was a pay-per-view yesterday actually, Fastlane, and this might tie in because Nikki is still she has retained the Divas Championship, and
which means she's taking it to WrestleMania.
Yes, against Paige, and we've also got Tyson Kidd who got the tag team title along with Cesaro.
Your boy.
My boy. So that might tie in because Natty is hanging out with TJ a lot in Total Divas. So.
I know. I hated to see the Usos lose that one.
I was happy.
I mean, they had it quite a bit over the past year, but as their dad is going into the Hall of Fame, wouldn't you keep the title on the Sons? I don't know.
I think Total Divas is more important, okay? I'm just kidding.
Total Divas is totally more important.
I'm totally kidding. No pun intended. Totally kidding. Okay. All right, guys. You have anything?
Well, Nikki Bella added her little flavor, I think, to Oscar Sunday with her elbow-length gloves that she came out walking in. They had her and Brie had a little scene at the beginning of Fastlane where they were talking to Byron, and she had a full-on like blue leopard print catsuit bodysuit thing going on with these evening gloves, black satin gloves. It was very fabulous. That's what I tried to find a picture of for all of you in case you missed it.
Oh, you didn't find one?
No, I'll tweet it out later if I do. It was fabulous. Yes. And it was very like, I can't be on the red carpet right now, but everyone knows I should be on the red carpet. Look at how I'm dressed.
That's so her.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about predictions, I guess. Did your DVR cut off? Mine did too.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Well, let me tell you all then. We saw a little preview of what looks like Vinny asking Ariane's father for her hand in marriage. And she looks just as shocked about this as she did years ago when they first started talking about getting engaged and she was saying it's not time yet. She still kind of has that look on her face in those previews. So my prediction is that she's going to shut it all down because we know she's not quiet. She's not going to just let the moment happen and then talk about it later. They're sitting at a dinner with her entire family and I feel like she's going to be like, no more. No more of this talk, Vinny, and shut him down. It's going to be very sad because he's very sweet and he loves her so much. Oh, and also we saw Paige getting a tattoo.
Oh,
and
yes.
Rose is saying she's going to get fired over this.
Yes.
It looked like it was like right around in here.
She'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm thinking it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Gabby.
But I hope it's something really cool.
I
bet with Paige it'll be something like very meaningful and like deep.
Right? Gabby, do you have any predictions?
predictions. I'm trying to remember what else happened at the end besides the whole Ariane thing.
It says not.
Do you guys remember?
Well, here's a synopsis. It says Ariane is embarrassed for her father to meet Vinny's family, which we've.
Oh, that was her first time. Wow.
Natty struggles with TJ's new career choice, whatever that is. Oh, finding it difficult to be supportive when he strips down with some hot models.
Okay, so they are models.
Okay.
These were the two I was talking about last week, saying maybe they have new twins coming up because they were like, model girls would look the same, and they are both cuddled on either side of him. It's like a very kitschy kind of shoot. So apparently they are just models.
Okay.
We now know that, but yeah, Natty doesn't seem like the type to be cool with.
Oh no, she seems very 100% me, which is I'm kind of like that too, actually.
Well, Natty's a funny one because she gets mad about other people doing things, but yet she's guilty herself. I mean, before her wedding night, she was out on a date with her old friend who's interested in her.
Oh, I forgot about all that.
I mean, whatever.
He was super weird.
I just think that it's going to be a small little tip, again, another dramatic little scene that comes to a resolution at the end where they make up, their bond gets stronger, maybe, you know, and things to that effect.
Yeah, I think so. And then Paige obviously gets her tattoo because she feels the need to rebel when WWE tells her not to get a tattoo, which sounds so weird. Would they imagine them going, hey, Paige, just let you know you're not allowed to get a tattoo. She's like, what? I'm going to go get it. Yeah, it's
weird.
A little strange. But yeah, I mean, that about wraps up our after show. A lot of news and gossip this week.
I predict Nikki will buy 4 more purses before we have another episode.
Yes, and bring them in here, Nikki Bella. So that being said, where can everyone reach you guys?
Oh, everybody tweet me at Christy Reports. I love hearing from you.
Yeah.
And dance with me. You can just put in little stars and say dancing.
There you go. I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on Wrestling Buds on iTunes.
Oh yeah, so we can see that Paige interview very soon?
Paige will be this Wednesday. Just go to iTunes, type in Wrestling Compadres, and voila.
Yeah, I can't wait for
that. Beautiful. And Gabby, where can people find you?
Everyone can find me on Instagram at GabbyLO87 and Twitter. You can tweet me at Gabrielle_Loren. Thanks, guys.
And you can find me at Kaorious, KAORIOUS on Instagram as well as Twitter. And also all week long, hashtag ABTV Divas. Comment, questions, all that good stuff, theories, let us know. And we'll catch you guys real soon. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.